You made it. You are on D, Discipleship Program. Way to go. Hopefully you spent time crafting your vision. And now it's about disciples. Now I am stealing this word from the Christian world because it means a true disciple is not just a student or a learner, but a follower. One who applies what he has learned. That may sound intense, and that's why I like it. This is such a great word. It means someone who is applying the principles of what your mission is to become a true believer of what you are launching. We do not just want buyers into our vision, the one that you crafted. We want disciples who become followers of what we're building. People all in with the mission that we have crafted. Now, I realize that sounds a little cultish, and that's I don't know. I think it's weird if you're building maybe a burger shop and you sell hamburgers and you're saying I want to build disciples. That's where I don't know if this works, but if you're launching something that has a bigger vision of like a mission to accomplish something in our world, you want disciples. So churches will sometimes say our discipleship program is reach, win, train, send. You have to have a lot of details beyond that, but it's a great little reach, win, train, send, little mantra. Another one I've heard is there's a series of bases you go around, and once you get to home plate, you score. I don't get that part of it. There's classes, 101 through 401. There's key disciple building classes that you go to, like Alpha and Rooted, etc. Basically, what all these churches are trying to do is people see the vision, they buy into the vision, they become followers of the vision, and then they want you to tell people about the vision. It's this circle. I want you to say, hey, check out this vision, the one I first got involved with. Makes sense for churches. It should also make sense for us as we are casting vision as well. This should flow out of your mission and your core values that you did last time around that frame. What is your assimilation process for people to connect to what you're doing? What is your visitor process? When someone first enters whatever it is you're building, what is your process to take them and assimilate them, connect them and to be disciples and launch them? All of that matters. When you do an org chart for your organization, does it connect people to your mission and how you are bringing people on board? As we think about building disciples, you want a discipleship plan. So here's 4 strategic actions I want you to work through. Now this should take some time. This is one you're gonna wanna pause, you're gonna want a lot of notes with. In fact, I'm not giving you homework. You're basically just gonna wanna pause in each of these as needed. So the first strategic action to build your discipleship process is, how are you empowering people? How do we empower people to become disciples? Okay? As you begin to share your vision, that one that you crafted last time, do you connect with people and show them you care? They have to know you care about them before they will care about your vision. The way that you show people that you care about them is when you are empowering them with something. You're giving them ownership in some way. You may not really be giving them ownership, but you're making them feel like they have an ownership stake in what you're doing. So important. No matter what you're starting, people are going to be your most valuable asset. Even if you're like, I'm gonna create these widgets in a back room somewhere and sell these widgets, people matter to sell your widgets. People matter to see your vision. People are your biggest asset. So how are you empowering them and giving them ownership into what you are doing? Your home base shows your mission. This is a little bit later in the process, but even in your early meetings, when you're getting a team and you're building a team, how are you empowering people and connecting people to your mission just by the first place you meet, the first activities you do, the first stuff that you discuss? All of it shows whether you care about them, that you're empowering them, and that you are bringing them into a mission that believes in people. Get your hands dirty, making your home base a place that cares about people, meaning do the work. Pick your leadership team based on your mission. Do these people match your mission? Empower those people to connect people with your mission. Always use outsider's eyes when you enter your vision. How will someone else see this? How will someone else see this place as they walk in? How will people see your mission immediately? The outsider's eyes is when people meet people that are on your team, when they come to an event, when they visit your building for the first time. Use outsider's eyes. What are they seeing? Do they feel like I care about them? Because they're going to want you to care. And they're going to want to feel like you're empowering them in some way to be a part of the mission. This is where the burger joint thing. So maybe that is your mission, what you're launching. Most burger joints I go to, I don't feel like I'm joining their team and they care about me. I feel like they care about the dollar that I'm giving them for the hamburger. What year is this? The $5 I'm giving them for the hamburger. That's as far as our relationship goes. But there are some restaurants, there are some places that try and take it a step further. Anyway, so 4 strategic actions. Second one, your second action is how are you connecting people? All these are a little bit similar, but each one has a very important strategic part to it. So in everything you do, are you connecting people to what you're doing, to other people, etc.? In fact, I have a quote, let me pull it up. It's by Peter Drucker. It is meaningless to speak of short-range and long-range plans. There are plans that lead to action today. They are true plans, true strategic decisions, and there are plans that talk about action tomorrow. There are dreams, pretexts for non-thinking, non-planning, non-doing. Okay, I don't know if you follow that. It's really, really good. But basically, you can dream about a lot of stuff, but that's not planning. Short range and long range is meaningless. What are the strategic actions you're doing today to connect and accomplish what you're trying to do? That's what matters. Another one, Michael Porter. Strategy is about making choices, trade-offs. It's about deliberately choosing to be different. Remember the part where we talked about what's unique about your vision? This is the Venn diagram. What's unique about you? What are you bringing to the table? And then what are those key connections that you have to find that sweet spot? Let me give you an example, and I'm going to pull this up onto the computer here. Okay, I pulled you into my computer to show you a plan. And this particular plan is about helping a church to be financially solvent, like financially in the black by the end of the year. It's basically a 1-year plan for their finances. And what I want you to see, so this is the plan we threw together, but it was all about connecting people. So the first strategy, the 6-week sermon series on giving, was all about connecting people to the topic. Second, connect people with an annual giving commitment. Mail them something that has a commitment. They get to be a part of the commitment process. The third thing, connect regular people from the church to share their personal testimony. So now you're using people in the process. Fourth thing, this snail mail of a financial letter to all the church members, complete with church vision and strategies and with a detailed budget for the next year. So you're connecting people to exactly what you're doing. You're being open and honest, saying this is where we are and this is where we want to be. You're giving people the, I would say, tools to make an educated decision. You're empowering them, as we had before, and you're connecting them to why you're doing what you're doing. The fifth thing, highlight in each, monthly during Sunday worship stories of what the church is doing within the local community. So now you're connecting people to what you're doing in the community, why their money matters. 6, list a monthly updated financial status of the church within the emailed prayer guide. So you are you're connecting your people and showing them exactly how you're spending money almost on a monthly basis. Number 7, redesigning the offering envelopes to detail how to simply participate in the direct deposit. You're connecting people to how they can give in a very simple way. And then, 8, 9, and 10 are the same thing. So I just wanted to show you how a plan you put out, whatever it is, you have a strategic plan to accomplish something by the end of the year. How is each step connecting people to it? Who is responsible for that part? And then dates in which it's going to be completed. I hope that was helpful. I have a ton of those. And it's always about, okay, what are we going to do to connect people to the mission, the vision, the core values? So let's continue on with the fourth strategic thing that we have to accomplish here in discipleship plans, and that is to grow people. So you empowered them, you've connected them, and now you want to grow them. So that, again, I know a lot of this stuff sounds kind of weird, almost cultish-like, but that's what discipleship is. You want people so on board with this vision moving forward that they are telling others. The way they're going to do that is if they grew from it in some way. Somehow, they feel like when they're involved in your mission, whatever it is you're launching, they're growing. And so they want others to experience it too. A first-time visitor that comes into whatever you're doing, they engage in what you're doing, you have a strategic plan in how you're connecting with them, and then they feel like they move through the strategic plan to grow. That's the person that's going to share with so many others about what you're doing and jump on board. Let me give you another example. We'll jump into the computer again. So this was our leadership development plan. And what I called it was the on-ramps to connect people. And what I had here, let me see if I can use this mouse, 3 ways people can come into the freeway, if you will, through high school, junior high, whatever. We had these discovery plans. What are the discovery plans? Launch conference, Friends Summit, discovery events. So that was the way that people were going to come into the freeway. Church multiplication. How is that going to happen? Well, we have these cohorts. We'd have an apprenticeship program. Then we'd have a vision operating system, which I showed just a little bit last time, but the actual whole entire thing is probably 40 pages long. It's going to come out in the later sessions. And then Friends Center, which is our direct connection to all the colleges. And how does that connect people to the freeway? Well, there's scholarships, there's tuition scholarships, there's advising. We had people on our staff in those schools. And then we actually gave job placement from those schools directly into our churches. So all of those things got people into our pipeline, into our freeway, and then out into the mission world, into church ministry. That would become a pastor in any of our churches, and then even launching new churches. This is a leadership plan that connects people, helps them grow. That's all this stuff, helps them grow, and then launches them to do greater things, and our entire denomination church grew from it. That is why we have a discipleship program. Again, I'm using church a lot because that was the field I was from, or I'm still in actually. But whatever you launch, do you have a clear discipleship program that takes them from just connecting, just first-time visitor, all those kind of things, to growing in some way, and now they're wanting to tell others about it? That's where you want to get. That is why this is so important. The other area I want to touch on here in growing people, when you have your website, that is your first brochure. Does it show you care about people and you're trying to connect and grow them? When you have your lists, you ask people for their emails. A lot of people just throw that out there. Give me your email. When you do a newsletter, your discount, your special privileges, you got to show that you care about people when you ask them for something. Every sign, flyer, touch point shows you care about people, that you actually want to help them grow in some way. That is going to be noticed. How you treat their children. Depending on what you're launching, children will always probably be some part of it. Do you show you care about someone's child, that you're trying to protect them? No insider language. You have to make sure what you're saying makes sense to anyone walking in, and make everything you do about growing someone, helping them be better. All right, final point here in the discipleship program is rewards. Reward people. People love rewards. How you follow up, you know, a visitor comes or a buyer or whatever you're doing, to make them a disciple, you have to reward them in some way. What does that mean? Well, how about a handwritten letter? You have someone that visits, you write them a thank you, not some form letter that you email, but an actual handwritten letter saying thank you for just checking us out. The second time they visit, because they so appreciated that letter, you then give them something to join your newsletter. And you say, in this newsletter, you're going to get a 10% discount on whatever it is that you're doing. The third visit, now you have a whole club, a membership club with rewards as they continue to do and be more and more a part of whatever it is that you're doing. This is how you take someone and you reward them for being a part of what you're doing. How are you moving people into disciples, connecting them to justice issues and healthy habits? People want to know what you're doing actually cares about the world, cares about them, healthy habits, justice issues. Make every action symbolic. Engage in things that matter. Like I said, I don't think there's any homework I'm going to give on this one because it's such a massive amount of information I just gave you. Take your time and examine each one again. Pause it. Write lots of notes and spend some time in what is your discipleship program to move people from first-time visitors to assimilated, engaged, and telling others about what you are doing. Let's end with this quote. When you invite a friend who doesn't attend church to come with you to church, and this, I know it says church, but whatever you're doing, this is going to fit. Everything changes. Suddenly, you listen to the music differently. You start to wonder whether the message would make sense to that first time the person you brought with them, the outsider. And you shudder if it's feeling like the language is kind of churchy, insider language. You have to be a lifelong Christian to understand what they're saying. You begin to notice things like there's cracks in the sidewalk. You also see whether you have an easy on-ramp for a new person to explore this Christianity or church deeper. Many churches don't. They just have programs that work for those who are already attending. So that's the outsider eyes thing. Are you thinking about, if I brought someone in who knows nothing about what I'm doing, does the discipleship program connect them from day one to the greater mission and vision that we talked about last time? All right, next time we're going to do evangelism strategy. I'm borrowing that word again from the Christian world because it's so awesome. Evangelize your mission forward. And I'll go into that next time. But for right now, take this info and let's go!